Hi, I'm Vizzy. I like making diagrams, so let's get right into it. Ikigai, as far as it's understood in the West, is broken down into these four main principles. What do you love to do? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can I get paid for? According to this chart, when you find all four of these things in a job, that's what you should be doing with your life. Now, I wouldn't be the first person to explain my grievances with this system. It's not very intuitive and definitely needs some work. So to improve the chart, it might help us if we really understand what the concept of Ikigai is anyways. Luckily, the author Ken Mogi can help us out. Ken talks about 5 main pillars in the little book of Ikigai. The first is starting small. Ken urges us to think about the little details. Ikigai in his eyes shouldn't be complicated. Next is releasing yourself. You have to accept who you are. You're not who you want to be yet, and that's okay. But understanding that will help on the road to where you want to go, or who you want to be. Next is harmony and sustainability. Luckily, as humans, we're biologically built to cultivate relationships with other people. So rely on others, ask for help, and reciprocate help. Next is the joy of small things. Appreciate sensory pleasure, and appreciate the idiosyncrasies of life. Lastly, be in the here and now. Find your flow, do what you're passionate about, but be present, be conscious of what you're doing. Don't constantly dwell on the past or only think about tomorrow. Sometimes you just need to think about the seconds you're living in right now. Sometimes it's best just to be present. So Ken talks a little bit more about this in a video I'll link in the description where he looks at the old chart we looked at. And from the way he understood it, this all is Ikigai. So if your life has to do with the things you love, that's Ikigai. If you're doing something you're good at, that's Ikigai. If you're doing something for society, that's Ikigai. If you're doing something to get paid, that's Ikigai too. With all that being said, of course, I wanted to take a crack at making my own chart, with some influence from Ken Mogi. Of course, a lot of this is not filled in, but we'll start filling out the chart as we continue. So starting from the left, we have hobbies. This is how you spend your time. Do you like to draw, sing, sculpt? What is it that you like to do with your time? Next to it, we have your values. What's important to you? Your values could be anything from your family, your friends, making money, or even being challenged at your workplace. Next is relationships. From personal to professional, either one counts. And lastly, we have presence. Being here in the moment. So being conscious of what's going on and fully being a participant in your life's events. So again, like Ken stipulated in his analysis, this is all Ikigai. Your life purpose can be any of these things. From being a hobby you're passionate about, from living to your values, from cultivating good relationships, to just being present in the moment. That's all a part of Ikigai. And of course, if we were to get a little more particular, when your values and your hobbies overlap, you get flow, also known as a level of full focus and motivation. When your values and relationships overlap, you get connection, which contributes to a sense of belonging. When your relationships and presence overlap, you get gratitude. You're appreciative of the people you have around you. And you can show them that appreciation. When your hobbies and presence overlap, you get routine. It's making that cup of coffee every morning, doing your face care right before bed. Again, all of these things are your Ikigai, which is then represented by the center of the graph, with each remaining space spelling out the word purpose. So the biggest thing to take away from this is that Ikigai is not a wall to climb over. It's not some lifelong goal that you may not reach. It's a daily thing. It's the path you walk. It's the earth beneath your feet. It's everything. When I think about what my Ikigai is, I like helping people. I like education. I love art. I love music. And I love making these videos. That's what makes me feel fulfilled. And that gives me purpose. And who knows? Maybe in the future that'll change. But I know that right now, this is what I love doing. So take a moment and think about what's your Ikigai. What are the things you care about? No matter how small, there's at least one thing that gives you purpose.